We are living in a loop. We wake up to an alarm that feels like a personal attack, and we spend 8 or 10 hours doing stuff that doesn't actually matter to us, just so we can pay for a car that gets us to the job and a house that we're too tired to enjoy. They call it adulting, but I call it glorified hamsters on a wheel. Everyone wants freedom, but most of us treat it like a lottery ticket, like something that might happen if we get lucky or wait until we're 65. But what if I told you that there's a way we could build an emergency exit within the next 12 months? I'm talking about a full-scale tactical withdrawal from the rat race. We're calling this the 12-month exit strategy. And if this is not the most important lesson you'll ever learn on this channel, then I'm not sure what will. We keep forgetting that time is the only thing we're born with that we can't get more of. You can lose $1 million and make it back, but you can't make back the Tuesday you spent staring at a spreadsheet for a boss who doesn't know your middle name. For some context, the average person spends 90,000 hours at work over a lifetime. That is a staggering amount of life to trade for a paycheck. Depending on how you choose to look at it, we aren't just working, we are selling our very existence in installments. So if we're going to reclaim that time, we need a plan. You can't just quit tomorrow. That's a midlife crisis. A real exit requires a 365-day countdown, where every single day is a brick in the wall of your future fortress. The first 3 months are what I call the audit of truth. You have to look at your bank account and your calendar like a detective looking at a crime scene. Most people experience lifestyle creep, where the more they earn, the more they spend on stuff they don't need to impress people who don't even care about them. That is why a waiter or waitress in a restaurant will go on social media and start fantasizing about the dresses or wristwatches celebrities or influencers wear. And it doesn't stop with their imagination. They'll start saving up or doing a lot of side hustles to have enough to buy that dress. Afterward, they put it on, snap some pictures with it, post it online, and hope enough people see it, especially that neighbor or classmate who also wears nice things or whom they think they're in competition with. We most times buy things we can't afford with time we don't have. That is a losing game, and most especially, that is a leak. You need to find the leaks. Are you spending $200 a month on subscriptions you don't use? If you are, don't see it as just $200. That's maybe 20 hours of your life every month that you're throwing away. Statistically, about 60% of people live paycheck to paycheck. But interestingly, many of them make over $100,000 a year. It's not a math problem, it's a want problem. Once you've found the leaks, you move into the second phase, which is building the FU fund. Now, don't mind the language, but that's exactly what it is. It's the money that gives you the power to say no. If this were any other video, I would have started advising you to invest every penny in the stock market immediately. But when you're planning an exit, cash is king. You need at least 6 months of bare-bones living expenses tucked away. This is for your sanity. For instance, let's say your monthly expenses are $3,000. You need $18,000 in a high-yield savings account before you even think about walking into that office for the last time. It sounds like a lot, which in reality it is, but when you realize that $18,000 buys you 4,380 hours of pure, unadulterated freedom, it starts to look like a bargain. But that's not all. While you're saving, you have to start skill stacking. I'll explain. You see, you can't leave a job without a bridge to a new way of making money. We live in the gig economy, which is a fancy way of saying you can sell your brain to anyone in the world without a middleman. The future of work is no longer 9 to 5, but a portfolio of projects. Maybe you learn video editing. Maybe you learn how to manage social media ads. Or maybe you turn a hobby into a consulting gig. Whatever it is, spend months 4 to 8 becoming so good at it that people would be stupid not to hire you.
However, there are different strokes for different folks. Not everyone will work in the digital space, which makes perfect sense. Because if everyone becomes a programmer or an editor, who will be the plumber, the mason, or the woodworker? So some might want to start a plumbing business, while others might want to write code from a beach in Bali. The point is, you need a lifeboat. You don't jump off the Titanic unless the lifeboat is already in the water. Now we hit the home stretch, months 9 to 12. This is the psychological warfare phase. This is where most people quit because they get golden handcuffs. Your boss might give you a small raise, or you might get a promotion. It's a trap. Don't fall for it. You have to stay focused. This is when you start quiet scaling. You take your new skills and find your first 3 clients or your first side revenue stream. You do this at night, on weekends, and during your lunch break. You'll be tired, I can bet you that. But there's a difference between work tired and growth tired. One feels like a weight, the other feels like wings. By month 11, you should have your freedom number hit. This isn't $1 million. It's the number where your side income plus your savings equals a safe exit. It's a terrifying moment, I'll be honest. Your brain is wired for safety, and for thousands of years, safety meant staying with the tribe, even if the tribe was toxic. But we aren't in the jungle anymore. We're in a cubicle. The danger is no longer a tiger. The danger is now a wasted life. Old adages like a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush usually keep people stuck in bad jobs. But I'd argue that if the bird in your hand is biting you, it's time to let it go and find the other 2. Think about the feeling of that final day. You walk in, you hand in your notice, and you realize that the walls of the building don't hold you anymore. You've engineered your own escape. For some perspective, only about 15% of people worldwide actually enjoy their jobs. Imagine being in the 85% your whole life just because you were afraid of a 12-month plan. The economy is designed to keep you spending, so you keep working. We've said this countless times in our videos. It's a cycle that only benefits the people at the very top. But the exit strategy is your way of saying the game is rigged, so I'm going to play a different one. It's about becoming time rich. Being money rich but time poor is just another way of being a slave. But being time rich is where the real magic happens. That's when you get to decide when you wake up, who you talk to, and what you create. If you're sitting there thinking, I could never do this, I want you to remember that 12 months are going to pass anyway. You can either spend those 12 months getting 1 year older in a job you hate, or you can spend them building a doorway to the rest in your life. It is what it is. The choice is yours. But remember, if you drop dead tomorrow, your job would be posted on LinkedIn before your obituary hit the paper. Your loyalty belongs to your life, your family, and your dreams. So, what's the first move? Audit the truth, stop the leaks, start the fund, and learn the skill. You can do it if you want to. You just need commitment and discipline. And trust me, the view from the other side of that 12-month wall is the most beautiful thing you'll ever see. Life is too short to be spent waiting for 5 o'clock on a Friday. Now, this is my question for you. What's the single biggest expense or time leak you could cut right now to jumpstart your FU fund and shave months off your exit strategy? Tell me in the comments below. If this video met you well, like and subscribe to our channel. That's the best way you can support us right now. As always, thanks for watching.